you think. The best teacher you wished you had in school. Have your pens and paper handy and get ready to take notes. It's Dane Calloway.
We didn't all come from Africa. There was a country before 1492, and our history goes way beyond 1492. So you can't start us at 1492. We were always here.
Indian. Set it on fire, 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 fire. It's up.
It's go time, Slim. Relax and take notes.
I need to do, hold on. I need to do that quick mic check to make sure everything's straight on my side. Let me get it going. Let me make sure. Let me test it real quick. Yeah, we good to go. We good to go. We good to go. Let me hold on, let me do this like this.
OCO, freethinkers.
OCO, everyone. How y'all doing? Hope y'all doing well. I know it's early. I was actually trying to get this done yesterday, but I had a couple things I had to do, so I said, all right, so let me knock it out early. And then on top of that, let me see something. On top of that, there's probably gonna be like a 3-part segment. I don't think I'm gonna be as long as I was during the last live stream where I was almost like 4 hours long. I don't know. I mean, it depends, you know, it depends on the situation. But we should be up in here for a good majority of the time, probably like hour and a half, maybe. So let me keep it moving now. Let me jump into the other screens really quick. I want to go ahead and get started. Hold up, let me go to, where it's at. All right, let me switch screens. Let's get it started. Let me switch screens.
OCO, freethinkers. You're now tuned into the realest historian on the planet.
This brother, he is raising some serious questions.
He's here to make you think.
What I'm trying to do is get our people to understand that we have been lied to all the way around about our history. Can you name any other group of people, no matter their skin complexion, that are being labeled primarily as the name of 2 continents? Not 2 countries, 2 continents.
It's up.
That is called a misnomer, which is the act of applying a wrong name to some person or thing.
The best teacher you wished you had in school. Have your pens and paper handy and get ready to take notes.
I want y'all to check out somebody named Dane Calloway.
Dane Calloway?
Look into Dane Calloway. He has a lot of information about how this whole shit was told in reverse. Okay, where they say, oh, we came from Africa over here. No, a lot of us was already here.
And information that was put together by a man by the name of Dane Calloway, who is also questioning the slave trade. And he's done some remarkable videos on the history history of the slave trade in the United States. And he's gone back down the food chain and gone back down the line, and he's realized that a lot of the so-called African Americans in the United States are not African at all. They're actually Native Americans, because the slave trade did not happen the way we were told that it happened.
It's Dane Calloway.
Go and watch this man's channel, man. This dude is phenomenal.
I'm not saying African American because they're not African American. They're the Aboriginals, because they were the true Native Americans.
Set it on fire. Fire.
They're the copper colored race. Look up Dane Calloway and watch his fucking shows. That man, I mean, Dane Calloway on YouTube, oh my God. I mean, he is fucking beyond brilliant. The research he does, whoo, he goes way deep into this shit.
Relax and take notes.
It's Dane Calloway on I'm Just Here to Make You Think Radio.
Produced by Dane Calloway and Tanisha Calloway. Watch this brand new documentary, Mother Rosa, right now at DaneMakeYouThink.com.
It's up.
Yep. All right, man. So, okay. So there's a lot of things I want to get into. Hope y'all doing well. I'm gonna go ahead and start it off on the Just Chat screen real quick, and then we could. Oh no, I was already on it. I'm tripping. My bad. Again, so OCO everyone. Hope y'all doing well. This is probably going to be a 3-part series because it's a lot of things I gotta cover. And it's a couple of things I got to do today. So I know I'm not going to be able to spend a lot of time today. But we'll see. I'm going to see how that work out. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be at least an hour and a half, maybe 2, depending on how things go. And you know how I do it. I like to warm it up into the main topic of the discussion here. So there's a few things I'm going to go over in the beginning that's going to lead up to it, just to refresh your memory. Hope you all are doing well. Osikachu. OCO. Osikachu. Osikachu, meaning how are you? How you been? Hope y'all doing well. Florida in the building. Sanford, Florida, that is. Grateful for life? I know that's right. Matthew, what up? What up, Austin, Texas? Yeah, so I was like, I wanted to talk about a few things that I have. Let me see here. Let me make sure I have it up on my side because I gotta be ready real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, I got that. All right, and I got that. Okay. I want to take it here first. Let me move this over. See, everything, when I'm live, I have to move all these screens around at that time because I have a couple of programs that's running in the background. But yeah. Oh, how do you spell it? OSICACHU. So that's another way of saying, how are you, basically? Or I hope you're well, or it's like that, like one of those. Osikachu. OSICACHU. Now, originally, a lot of these languages, or correction, a lot of these words that you will hear me utilize, they're going to state that it's a part of the Cherokee language, but originally it was a part of the Kitawa language. Kitawa was the language of some of the Aningawea. And of course, that is the side that I represent as far as my family is concerned, even though I have Catawba and PD. But Aningawea is the Great Wolf Clan. That's what that means. And according to my family, they spoke Kituwa. That was their original language, in which we still utilize some of those words today. That's why I was telling you guys about when we're saying like, yo, when we answer the phone and stuff like that. Like, we're still saying some of the indigenous ways that we greet each other still to this very day. In fact, we're going to do a larger segment on that. I believe I went over that before, but I know my wife and I are tapping into something heavier on that note, based off of the questions that I asked inside of the 13% community server to those that were watching the live stream, like asking them straight up, okay, what more would you like to see? Like, what do you want me to elaborate on? What are the topics, the ideas and stuff like that that you may have a question about? I may have covered previously in the past, but you would like to see me tackle it from a different angle, which is fine, because that's what I do with some of these topics that are going to have to be spoon fed to people that are just coming on board, to acknowledging their beliefs, acknowledging that their belief systems have been dolled up to make believe that those beliefs were actually reality when it wasn't. So to digest it better, I spoon feed the information the best way that I can, because learning from my previous years when I was, back in 2015, 2016, I realized what I was doing in the beginning was bringing out too much information at one time, and people weren't able to grasp that at that time to a point where they could regurgitate that information the way that they do now. And not only regurgitate it, but comprehend it prior to regurgitating it. I like to make things educational and simultaneously entertaining. My entertaining side is like having Easter eggs, for example, inside of my documentaries. I normally don't have Easter eggs, by the way. I normally don't have Easter eggs inside of the live streams. It's usually in the documentaries where you hear me narrate. Guaranteed, each and every one of them will have an Easter egg. And I noticed that I did not resurrect my Easter Egg Sunday series, in which I need to, because I said I was going to do that at the top of this year. And here we are in June. So half the year gone. So I'm going to have to start it up. But see, my focus is on this. Like, I remember I asked you guys, what would you like to see? Would you like to see a tour? Would you like for me to be, on tour? And which that's still going to happen regardless if it's going to be public or private, because I have to still travel to different locations to document information or particular information and then put it on screen, like how you would remember me doing on my vlogs, like when I'm out and about and giving you or providing you more information, dealing with certain areas, setting the record straight. That's still going to happen, but probably more so on a private tip now, because at first it was going to be public. But a lot of the people I gave the questionnaire or whatever you want to call it. No, not questionnaire. I asked I put up a poll, and I asked people and that's my computer making a bunch of noise if y'all hear that. What would the people like to see? Would they like to see a tour per se, or would they like to see just strictly the movies and documentaries? And of course, the majority chose the movies and documentaries. So with that being said, on top of what we already did inside of the 13% community server, my team and I just went on ahead and started production on a lot of things that, number one, that the community was asking me to do, asking for my wife and I to do, to elaborate on. Some of that content will be here on YouTube. Most of it will probably be on the website, because it will be, I don't want to edit a whole bunch of stuff out. Like, I want it to be like you get it all at one time. It may be like an hour, hour and a half to 2 hour documentaries that you will receive on our website. And of course, we're going to be moving over some of the documentaries and probably the majority of the films to platforms like Amazon, Hulu, and Netflix. And we already are in production right now. So in fact, you guys may even see something. In fact, you probably will see something this month. For those of you who are channel members, you guys are going to start seeing some exclusive stuff. And the 13% community server will see specialized videos for you all to get get you up to speed of what's going on. And on top of more educational content that'll probably be out in the public, but in a different way, like whether if it's movie or documentary, most likely it won't see a video per se, like a VOD on the channel. That's the way we have it going so far. So the team is, I had to pull, some of the people that were helping me with my shorts to help me with some of this production. So that's why my shorts slowed down for a second. We're going to pick that back up here in a second. People were requesting that, and I'm sure my Instagram and TikTok was loving it. One of those videos went viral, and it was an old video of mine. And I was like, damn, it was over 1 million views. And I was like, dang, oh, y'all just catching up? Like, but that's good though. And I'm going to be doing that again. I'm going to make sure that, hey, look, click that one up and let my shorts team roll those out. But right now I need all hands on deck for right now, to just right this time so I could, get started on the majority of these projects. Because of course I was doing everything on my own, still in a way I am. But as far as the majority of the bulk rather of the work, I have to do on my own. I am recording myself. I am editing myself. You know what I mean? Writing as well. I mean, of course, my wife is there as well. So my wife is, definitely tag teaming with me with the writing and researching as well. And then on top of that, she produces her own content. So we tag team back and forth, and we help each other that way. But now that we have a little bit more help with the editing, y'all should start seeing more stuff rolling out here shortly. Now, I was supposed to put out some newer stuff last week, but out here in Texas, we were having, I mean, like I said, that's why I started going live to like, hey, I see Texas ain't the only one receiving a whole bunch of like irregular weather, okay? And I said, all right, look, here's the cause, okay? And it could be the reason why they, upset with the governor out here, like trying to do something to shake people up and pause them, just temporarily from whatever it is that they're doing. Because a lot of it was unnecessary, and it's still occurring as we speak. Now we're going into the so-called hurricane season, and here we go, like a whole nother, but anyway, it seemed like it wasn't like this last year, I could tell you that, nor the year before that. As far as all of these hailstorms back to back, like that was kind of slowing us up. But anyway, y'all gonna start seeing all that this week here, the next week after, and all of that. The majority of the stuff that's already done, we'll go ahead and tighten it up, and it's basically polishing those ones that are already ready, just polishing those and putting those out. As far as audiobooks, I'm going to throw them on the website. I know y'all, because I don't really say anything. I don't promote anything. Give me a second. I don't promote anything. And people were getting on me about that, Dane. So what are you doing? I got to tell y'all, because that's not fair, because I'm doing a whole bunch of work and people missing it. Oh, I didn't know you had a book out. Oh, you did a movie? And I got to be the one to say it. I can't, you know what I'm saying? And for the time being, until some articles get written about me, which all that stuff, that PR stuff coming soon, we making sure we knocking that out the right way. And then you all will, another thing I'm going to mention is that you all will see me collaborate with a lot of people you guys have requested me to collaborate with. And what I mean by that is the ones that make sense. Okay, the ones that make sense, not necessarily the ones just because they have some particular what you would call celebrity status, and they could be A-list, B-list. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's cool, but I definitely will only collaborate with people either who are like-minded, even if we, they may have an ideology that I disagree with. That part really doesn't matter, because we can still hit different areas, many different ways. It's fine to get another take on the same fight, basically. You know, some people don't know what the fight is. In fact, let me touch on that for a second. Throughout my years here in social media, I've been talking about what the fight is, and that's the fight to get our lands back. I'm gonna tell y'all real quick. I spoke with somebody last night. Many of you were asking me to do something with. I'm gonna just tell you right now it's in the works. And y'all gonna be happy. It was long overdue. I'm gonna tell you right now, I checked the messages. The last time this person, I'm not even gonna give you a hint. The last time this person and I contacted each other was in 2021 trying to get something done. Okay? But all of a sudden, you know, now it's happening, okay? And it's not all of a sudden. Let me say it this way. Hold on, let me rephrase that. So cancel that part. It's the right time. The time is now. And it's better that way because I realize that, you know, many people consider me a master teacher. And there are I'm talking about very few people that I would consider to be on that level with me and I wouldn't mind collaborating with. And my wife is texting me right now. Probably, hey, do you want some coffee? Yes. Baby, do you want some coffee? Yes, I do, love. Thank you. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
You are watching a master at work.
So that's good. So I could wait on that coffee before we get into the beginning stages. But anyway, so I recognize, you know, a couple of people you guys were asking me to collaborate with, and male and female. And, you know, I took a look at a few, and some of them I'm already aware of, based off of how, you know, the algorithm works. Like, we're all in the algorithm, and it's, you know, as long as it makes sense, that's it's going to happen. You know, I'm not going to state any names, at least not right now. But conversations are happening, and y'all gonna be proud. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. Especially the new leaders, like I would consider us the new leaders, basically, of the master teachers. We're the new generation of master teachers. And it's only right. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this now. As far as the ancient indigenous gods of America. Now, this segment is probably going to be about 3 parts, maybe 4, depending on how I do things. I may even have a separate documentary coming where it won't be in this format during a live stream. It will be formatted with me narrating. At certain points, I may have to pause. So y'all gonna have to excuse me because I have to bring up certain things that I want to point out to you. But before we get into the meat and potatoes, I'm going to serve you with the entree. Okay. Let me give you the entree really quickly. Let me get that set up really quick so we can jump straight into that. Now, but keep in mind, some of y'all be like, well, wait a minute, Dane, why you going to bring this part up? All of this is going to make sense once we get into the meat and potatoes, but there's a few things that I have to point out that I pointed out before, that I have to bring back up at this point so it could all make sense now. Because apparently some of you guys, like I could tell from the comments, sometimes it will go over people's heads. And the reason why I state that is because certain people are not willing to do their own research based off of my research and then cross-reference that research in order to gain the knowledge that they were supposed to be seeking. They much rather rely on the person to do it all, which is fine. I highly recommend that you still research behind me, but of course I bring receipts. So I'm a person that you could trust. You understand what I'm saying? It's not just one book per se or one article online. You know, I'm way beyond that. I have been way beyond that years now. It's deeper than that now. Now it's to the point where you need to see what the issue is. And it's been that way. I've been doing it this way for a long time. so we could correct these issues, because it's about gaining our land back. It's about making our people aware of what the real problems are. What happened to our people? Because we know for a fact that it was a set group of people that told us all lies when it comes to the so-called American history. Top to bottom, we were led astray. We were told that everything about us initiated in Africa. And that's a lie. That is one of the biggest lies ever in American history when it comes to our people. But the great thing about it is that the majority of you all, the majority of the Niji are fully aware. And the reason why I say Niji is because it's a respectable way, of saying my buddy, my relative, like we are one with each other as far as bloodline connection. You are family to me. So that's why I'm considering everyone Niji, my Niji, as far as them being indigenous to this land, and even those that are of the surrounding islands are my Niji. And what I mean by that is, of course, we got the Hawaiians, and we got all the Fijis. Notice how they're the Fijis, okay? But anyway, and then we have the what some people may call the Caribbean Islanders, but the Caribbeans, there's a segment coming out on that, but that we gotta call them for who they are, like call them by their tribal affiliation, like, we gotta do it. It's time now. I think we should all consider ourselves by who we are. And some of the terminology that you can implement inside of your vocabulary could be based upon the tribe that you're affiliated with. Now, the majority of our people, to go on to that, I'm getting there, y'all. Hold on, I'm getting there. Let me get this out. You know how I am. Some of y'all be like, he rambling, but all of this correlate, regardless of whatever you want to classify it. This is all correlating information. So if you don't want to hear it, move on. Regardless, I'm going to tell you. That's what I'm here to do, is to teach the truth. A lot of it consists of me talking, getting it out, because I have a lot of information inside of my brain. I have to get it out one way or another. As far as the bloodline and what we represent is concerned, I believe that there has the time has come where now we have to showcase, and what I mean by we is the Niji, we have to showcase a sense of urgency here. Because I was speaking with someone last night, and this particular person is on the same page that I am on, which is absolutely 100% great. One thing was brought up that I really want to be regurgitated to you all, so you all could make sense of what happened previously here. Some of you all may remember that time where I went live. I forgot the month. I actually got to go on a channel. Hold on, let me check real quick. I could check on a channel to see what month that was, because it was pretty recent. Really quick, let me do that, because it was a live stream about the Pope. Okay, now what the Pope did. Oh, let me bring that up really quickly so I can know the title, just in case you guys want to go back and take a look at this. I was trying to inform people then, hey, listen, we got to pay attention to this, because we got to do something about it. All right, so the name of the live stream is called "The Vatican Wants to Return Land Back to the Indigenous People of America." Now, this is where the Pope, rescinded the doctrine of discovery. And what I was trying to inform the people then is based off of that move. That's a major move. Now that rescinds or retracts everything or every law that was passed down. Listen, that rescinds every law that was passed down from I'm talking about from doctrine and discovery on up. Okay? The problem is that the land is sitting there waiting for us to reclaim it. The reason why that's an issue is because our people are unaware that we have to reclaim it. Cause see, we all remember how we've been indoctrinated into thinking that somebody is going to come and save us. Again, this is not a knock to nobody, but just think about this, okay? Now, we could go on a spiritual note with it, but I want you to think about it, like mentally grasp what that means. That's telling you to sit back and wait on somebody else to do the job for you that you know you're supposed to be doing on your own, for your own people, for your own kind, for your kinfolk, for your Niji. The only people that are going to get up and do something for us is us. Is us. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, with that Pope sitting back, like, okay, look, we were sending this, we retracting that, blah, 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 blah. It's on us now. My job is to inform the people why that is so critical, why that particular point is so critical to note, because once we regain control over the land, we control all of the waters. Now, some of you may have heard either myself or one of the ones that we're going to consider. I'm going to start saying this a lot because this is a positive affirmation. The new age of master teachers, myself, Top Cats, you name it. You're going to start hearing us say a lot. Actually, we've been saying it for quite some time, that we are the seafaring people, meaning, we are ones with the waters. This is how we traveled. Just keep in mind, if we get control over the land, we get control over the water. This is the reason why these foreign governments came over here. And their main goal was to take over the trade. And that particular trade had to deal with the waters, right? Because you can't trade with other countries of other continents without controlling the water lines. The water lines will be the streams, or what we would call the avenues, to get to these particular locations without having to sacrifice their lives by coming across or going across the Pacific or the Atlantic by forcing themselves into an ocean gyre, or gyre rather, and was gyre rather, ocean gyre, and they could be lost at sea. So they had to travel particular routes, okay? And I explained on numerous occasions what these routes were. The number one main route was the Mississippi River. Still, this government wanted the Mississippi River to be redirected so they could have more control over how the trade was being conducted. Now, when I say foreign government, you got to understand what that consists of. These are many foreigners that looked at what our people were already doing. This is the reason why they're going to call certain people that you know of, that you could recall, like Columbus, an explorer, right? But an explorer is a what? A spy, an agent set to look and observe and write it down and report it back to who employed him. Like, for example, Columbus, right? The word Columbus, it has a deeper meaning. Now, if we look at the definition of the word itself, that I believe that it's going to be the Oxford Dictionary that's going to say America was discovered accidentally by a great seaman, okay, named Columbus, right? Listen, the word Columbus consists of two words, column and bus. The word Columbus consists of two words, column and bus. Listen, column is a vertical structure. That's it usually consists of a base, like a beam or support, like a column. Remember that day when I was showing y'all the Baltimore Bridge and how that column shouldn't have been knocked over structurally? So vertical structure, column, base. It stands alone. It could also be a monument. So it could also be referred to as a capital. Column. Okay, now the word bus, we already know. A long, vehicle, motor vehicle, transporting passengers or carrying passengers as a form of transportation. In the 1960s, it was a way to transport students for integration. Right now, 2024, what Governor Abbott do in Texas? He put them foreigners that was crossing over the borders on buses and sent them to New York, right? Now, in a sense, a regular series of newspapers or magazine articles, right? If all researched properly, it can also be considered a means of transportation. Remember, we went over this before, like a trans, drop you in a trans, like if you're reading a book, if you're watching a movie or film, transportation, sending you elsewhere. Now, a column bus is also the movement of a formation, okay? Because it's basically telling you or forcing you to do something. So a movement of a formation as like, okay, troops, like military troops, right? They got to get in formation. A 10 hut, right? Forward, march. They got to move in formation, right? That's a column bus. Or a vehicle, like vehicles. When we, our vehicles, if you're going in one direction, you have to stay on that right side of the street. The other one's going the opposite direction, has to stay on the opposite side, go on the opposite. Y'all get me? Okay? And watch all elements follow one behind the other, right? So the column is only a fraction of something that, if it continues to reoccur, the hope is that the outcome will mimic an outcome that is already in existence. The hope is that the outcome will mimic an outcome that is already in existence. That's what they were here to do, to look at us, study us. Keep in mind, we had the Republic. Remember, I went over this before, how to create a country or how to create your own country. In fact, my wife and I came out with a book called, what was the name of that book? Wait a minute, now I got to look for it. Hold up. I got new books up here. It's called Fixing America's Broken Promise. We went over that a little bit deeper. Get that book if you didn't already, Fixing America's Broken Promise. We're telling you how they did it because we already had it done. So to go back to Columbus, that's why that's not his real name, by the way. Okay, that was his title. A lot of these people who were given these names were giving titles, rank. Listen, remember we talked about rank, title, like status, black and white? It all correlate. It's all gonna line up. Black and white is a what? A status, a title, a rank. Is going to line right back up, ladies and gentlemen. It won't ever fail. It won't ever fail. Now, that also means that you have to do something. If you're giving a title, you're given a job. Like what? Employees. They give you a title of what? You see what I'm saying? For example, you get the assistant manager and whatever, associated manager, general manager, regional manager, blah, 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 blah. You get my point. So if we were given, and ain't no if, we were given status, title, rank, then you know that this is only one thing. It only means one thing. This means that this government is acting as if it is a government, a governing body of a particular people, because it's a corporation. Only a corporation can hand titles to certain people in order to do a job, correct? Everybody out here that works for someone is working for a corporation, not necessarily an individual. Technically, the only individual that they're working for is for themselves in order they can take care of themselves. And if they, have a family that's associated with them. But realistically, you barely see the owners of that corporation. Quasi corporation. Acting as if. That's what quasi means. Look how it all line up. Quasi. S-I. Quasi. Acting as if. This is how we know this government is de facto. We'll come back to that. Democracy, church, or state. We're going to come back to that. Church and state is the same thing. We're going to come back to that. They always promoting this is democracy. Before democracy, we're going to come back to that. Because before democracy, they demoed. You listening? Before they demoed what they wanted done, which was to bring church and state as one, it was always a republic. This time we got together. If you repeat, you rewind, republic, what are you doing? You're bringing the people back to where it was already once before. Boom. It's that simple. They know that many other people who are the new age of the master teachers, they know that we know this. Okay, this is the reason why they do certain things to try to throw us off. Okay, I'm not trying to go into the negativity. In fact, I just lit up my sage. Don't make me light up my sage again. I just want to keep it on this note so we can move on. I mean, I guess this is going to be considered the warm up. How long have I been going so far? 40 minutes? Excuse me, I got to get this out. You going to listen to me today. Du jour. We went over du jour before, right? Du jour. Du jour. What'd that sound like? Oh, man. That means lawful means. Like they say, the majority of this stuff that they did was under the color of law. But if it's de facto, listen, and it is, and if it's quasi, and it is, that means every single thing they did in law was done fraudulently. Keep in mind, we could point to who they tried to mark or mimic, to go back to Columbus, who they tried to mimic. We're going to say it was the French government. We're going to say it was the British government. But wait a minute. The French and the British weren't speaking English. There's a documentary coming out on that. I'm not going to go too far, but I'm going to give you this. The French and the British were not speaking English. That landmass wasn't called England. It was England, where the Angles resided. They were speaking a totally different language. Always has been. By the time the Norman French got there, changed them from the Anglo-Saxons to the Norman French or Anglo-Normans, took over Breton, B-R-E-T-O-N. Listen, they were still speaking a different language. The Saxons was his home group at first. Many other tribes were amongst them, and not one of them spoke English, Middle English, or Old English. This week and next week, mark my words, we're going to be exposing why they did that. But I can summarize it for you right now because it has all to do with the title of this live stream and the other live streams to come, because they know that we are the indigenous gods of America. They're going to say Jesus of Lazarus. Okay, all right, so you got somebody that you was worshiping over there, right? All right, okay, the Savior over here predated yours. Keep in mind, you needed our help, and this is true. Those foreigners needed our help in order to come out of what they were already accustomed with amongst their own lives. Slavery, Slavs, Slavs. They came over here and became free whites. Free from what? Free from who? Free from what they were already accustomed to. That's why they had to sit back and learn what we were doing so they could market. Mimic it. This was already in their writings of where they got the majority of these traditional ways of civilization from. This was already in their writings of not only just literature, but legislation. I gave you quote after quote after quote of top people telling you where the language, the culture, the traditions, the spirituality, the music, the trade, all of that, where it came from. It was always here. The crops, the minerals, the spices. Oh, it get deep. Look, all the way down to that roof that's over their little pretty little head, huh? All the way down to that roof that's right now over their pretty little head, because they ain't had none of that. When the so-called Moroccan Empire got, knocked out of there, Ottoman Empire, 711, if I'm not mistaken, right? But they still needed help to rebuild what? Them foreigners still needed help to build up Rome, right? If Rome was in ruin, wait a minute, you ain't know how to build none of that stuff up. And then when you put it back up, you had images like this. Hold up. Let me make it big screen. You had images like this inside of your museums, inside of your little beautiful architecture and all of these beautiful coliseums and all the rest of that. Wait a minute. You thanking the people that helped you. Oh, that's what you was doing? So now you want to come over here and state we make America? Oh, but we helped Rome. We helped the Dutch. We helped the Germans. You go down the list. We helped everybody. Matter of fact, the first people that was coming over here, remember I showed you? Was Germans, and guess what? Them Germans was of color, right? Them Germans was of color and they was sticking by our side. They knew they needed our help and was willing to work for us. So when I tell you who the first slaves were, and I tell you was foreigners, and it didn't matter their skin complexion, that also goes for the so-called slave masters, the one that hired them to work for them. In order for them folks to stay afloat, ain't gonna be no ifs, ands, or buts about it now. That's documented. They got us to thank for their well-being. When you hear Donald Trump holler, "Make America great again," still to this day, nobody asked him when America was ever great. But when you think about it,
set it on fire, 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 fire.
Let me get my coffee. Oh, hold on a second. Let me. I got some music on. Hold on a second, y'all. Let me make sure my wife ain't sitting right there. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I'm gonna switch the screens real quick. Hold up. All right. You good or not?
Oh, what happened? Okay, that's fine. All right, I mean, it's probably time to get a new one. Okay. I mean, shoot, we done probably wore that thing out. It sounds like we need a new coffee maker, y'all. So that's what it sounded like. She was having some tech difficulties. It's probably time. I mean, you know how you run run vinegar in it to clean it and everything. After a few times of doing that, they probably gonna laugh. They don't make the coffee machines like how they used to now. After a few times doing that, I mean, give or take, you probably gonna keep that jank maybe maximum a year. Maximum a year, but I mean, I'm gonna say 6 months on a realistic note, you know. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, it's a Keurig. I got the big one. I should have got the commercial one. They be breaking down too, but yeah, I got the biggest one you could get. I got the one that also make the, we could put the coffee beans in it. I also got that one. The one where you could throw coffee beans in it and it'll brew the coffee right then. Woo! I love that smell. And then it's a combination one. Woo! That thing there. But anyway, because it depends on my mood. If I want to, you know what I'm saying? If I already, you know, want the coffee grinds grinded already or beans grinded already, I could use that option. Put the little cup in there, boom. Or I could go the coffee bean route. You know, go ahead, grind that coffee, get the, woo! I'm trying to tell you, shout out to the Colombian coffee makers. If you ever had some real Colombian coffee. Ooh, matter of fact, have y'all, let me leave. Hold on, I'm jumping, hold on. Y'all get me all excited. All right, yeah, come on back. Yeah, that's, yeah, Colombia, woo, that Colombian coffee. Let me drop a ball for Colombian coffee, okay? Indigenous to South America, by the way. Yeah, that coffee bean. I mean, we had it all. The tobacco, we had it all. If it wasn't for us, like I'm talking about wheat and everything, corn, especially corn. I'm talking about some of these things that you would think would just can only be designed to, you know, eat, to, you know, intake, you know, through the mouth, right? Can also be turned around and, wait a minute, it can also be turned around and grinded down to some form of mineral to create the clothes that we wear. Wait a minute. A lot of these elements that we already had here, we already knew the science to utilize these elements. I'm gonna, you know, just simplify things to help us survive. Not only based off of the weather conditions that we could have been experiencing, but also a couple wars might have popped up. We need some metal to protect us from. Wait a minute, metal can stop a bow and arrow. Oh, you mean to tell me, wait a minute? Metal. Wait a minute, you Teflon? Dang, what you talking about? Teflon was out way before these white folks here. And I'm talking about protect us from bullets. Oh yeah, so dang, we was making bullets? Where you think they got the designs from? Who you think the first blacksmiths were? Where do you think gunpowder come from? Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is the reason why you don't, it's impossible for that story to be true. They coming over here by some boat from some totally different landmass with enslaved Africans not in condition to fight nobody. They on top of a boat 90 days through the sea. Don't tell you which route they took, but finally landed ashore in America and gonna turn around and be in condition to fight the warriors here? Again, that not only had bow and arrows and spears and tomahawks, they also had them snipers. You mean, you mean to tell me you gonna stop them? Man, some of y'all, which one of y'all white folks Superman? Why he ain't got no picture in the museum somewhere? A whole backstory on him.
Who? Who was that? Who was that did that? That walked right up on this landmass and saw all them warriors over here, was like, we got him. Aim! Fire! Right after a 90-day, you're gonna be tired. A 90-day trip, barely drinking, barely eating. And when you was drinking, it was the water in the sea. And when you was eating, you was eating other people that was on the boat. Uh-oh.
It's up.
And you gonna turn around, you ain't hitting no weights, no jumping jacks, no push-ups. You gonna turn around and tell me that you gonna be able to hop off that boat and get right into action? Cause guaranteed them Indians, now I'm talking about the Indians gonna have more. I'm gonna say it again, more than just tomahawks and bow and arrows and, we gonna have them snipers. So that means they plucking you off before you even hit shore. What you talking about? And you got the nerve to say you gonna capture Africans. And Africans, I'm talking about the authentic ones that barely speak English, but that can understand you. And you talk about, hey, what was the little slave trade that happened when your folks was captured and brought over here to America? They don't know what you talking about. They like, what was the name of the war? Look, and the foreigners that's telling you this story can't tell you the name of the war, where these so-called Africans became prisoners of war. But yet I could tell you all the 61 documented wars that took place in the 1800s. And them folks couldn't do nothing without our help. From day one. From day one. Every single organization that got involved with a secret society, there was some of the folks that looked like you and I involved, and other people of different various skin complexions involved. That's the only time they got together. You thought it was for unity, but it was for a different cause. It was to bring themselves up and leave you behind. All them people that betrayed us. I mean, and them older master teachers, they give us props because we becoming the new master teachers. They ain't got no choice. We could blame it on the fact that they didn't have, per se, the internet and stuff like that. We could give them excuses, but when we turn around and tell you and show you this information and put out the literature, show you the documents with the receipts, cross-reference it and show you some more, ain't no excuse. I understand you want to show your little loyalty. You understand what I'm saying? I understand you want to show your little loyalty to your little secret society that ain't doing nothing for you. But realistically, wait a minute. Yes, it is. It is doing something for you and you only, and not our people. That's the way you feed your family, ain't it? By continuously regurgitating the same lies over and over and over and over and over to the people. Then the people got the nerve to tell you a master teacher. But yet when the new master teachers, when I step in, I'm talking about for real, when we step in and we tell you that what you was teaching was wrong, tuck your tail. Don't get upset because we correcting you. We got to call you elder. But you ain't respecting us, so you don't deserve to have that elder title. I'm not going to call you you ain't no elder of mine. The hell I look like respecting you when you don't respect me? Just because you older than me in age. That don't make sense. Nah, y'all, I'm tired of that now. I'm tired of that, and we're gonna stop that. We're gonna put that truth out there the best way that we can. Thank you, baby. I appreciate that. Damn, I should have asked you for it's all good. Nah, it's all good. We good. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Smell good. You about to roll? Where? Say what now? Oh, you told me in the text? Oh, okay, yeah, you did. Okay. All right. So, okay. Yeah, my wife brought my coffee. Let me Yep, good. All right, so let's jump. It is crazy because, you know, some of the folks get mad because it will be considered new information to them. But don't get it twisted. Some of those people that you would consider elders or master teachers, they know of this information. They just choose not to look into it. They choose not to research it because it's going against. See, they're designed to draw you back into a brick wall. They're there to make sure that you don't, you know, hop your leg over the fence and bring your other leg over the fence and walk forward. They're there to gatekeep. That's what they're there for. They are there to gatekeep, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not fair to our people, but they, you know, we got to knock them out of the way because we got so many other things that we got to do. Number one goal, again, I told you with the Vatican and the Pope, they acknowledged, they rescinded the doctrine of discovery. We should have been stepped up. And I recall, if I'm recalling this correctly, I believe 2005 or 6, something similar happened where they were giving our people the option to come up and claim the land again. It was in 2006, I think it was like between 05 and 07. Let me say it like that. And they called it, it was an indigenous, now I'm trying to remember the exact name because you can pull this up. Indigenous was in it. Let it come to me because I don't have it in front of me. Let it come to me. Once it come to me, I'll spell it out. But that, it happened previously, but it really happened again. Like it just started, it just like straight up, the Pope straight up came out and said, all right, I rescind that. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now we got to step up and do what we supposed to be doing. And that's taking all this stuff over. And don't get it twisted. We got to kick some people out. This probably going to be the majority of them foreigners. But it got to happen. It got to happen. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. Got to happen. So I'm going to start off with this one. Let me get this stuff up right here on my side. Hold up.
It's up.
All right, so if you're enjoying the stream so far, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, that like button, hit that notification bell so you won't miss any uploads at all. You won't miss anything. Live streams, all of that. Go ahead, do me that favor. And let's get, a matter of fact, let's go ahead and get, I got everything ready. So let's go ahead and get this chat turned up real quick. If y'all can, spam that chat real quick for me. If you can flood the chat with them emojis, go ahead. Flood that chat. Let's turn it up real quick, right? We about to go ahead and get into the segment. Let's go. Come on. Nah. Flood the chat. Flood the chat. Turn that thing up. Turn it up, y'all. Come on, let's get it. Make sure y'all hitting that like button too. Make sure y'all hitting that like button too. Come on.
Keep spamming emojis and flattening.
Let's get it.
Turn up. Keep spamming emojis and flattening the chat.
Yeah. Let's do it. All right, so the first thing we're going to get into with this particular, one of my recent documentaries that I brought out. A lot of people missed the message. I gotta bring this one up. Because a part of their agenda was to hand us a new identity, right? Let me let the chat say this real quick before we play it. A particular point in our history, right? 1900s, I'm gonna give you a hint. There was a new identity placed upon us where we were supposed to be the new, what, y'all? The new what? I might as well tell you. It was during the Harlem Renaissance, right? What was the movement called? Keep in mind, this was a movement. But was it by us? Let's just get straight into it. Let's just get hold up. Let's get straight into it. So during this segment, I'm going to be at certain points, I'm going to pause, talk about it, especially if it's something I need to draw out so you can grasp it a little bit easier. Here we go.
This was a period in which this country received hundreds of thousands of European immigrants. Jews and Italians and Poles and Lithuanians and Greeks and Irish and Germans. And these people came to this country, and within the same moment of history that blacks were sliding, if you will, backward, they are moving forward. Creating the impression that blacks were not up to snuff as a people.
The American Indians became Negroes. Oh, Harlem, Harlem, Harlem. When foreigners migrated to New York.
The Harlem Renaissance, also known as the New Negro Movement, was a cultural movement that took place in the early 20th century. The movement showcased the achievements of so-called African Americans in literature, music, dance, fashion, theater, and even politics. However, behind the art and cultural revival, there was a hidden agenda fueled by a deceptive motive. In this video, we'll explore the historical context of the Harlem Renaissance and the New Negro Movement, the idea of art as a manifestation of strength through exertion and stretching, and the impact of the movement on the indigenous population's environment. Look how that says the new Negro has no fear. Let's get real deep because a lot of this story has not been told. Shout out to Killeen, Texas. And Todd Johnson, thank you for the gifted. I appreciate that. Oh, 5 gifted. Thank you for the 5 gifted. Thank you, Todd.
Produced by Dane Calloway and Tanisha Calloway. Watch this brand new documentary, Mother Rosa, right now at DaneMakeYouThink.com.
Ghost Dog, thank you for the 5 gifted as well, brother. I appreciate that. Mama Divas, thank you for becoming a member. In my recent video, I talked about the term Renaissance. However, after reading some of the comments, I realized that some people may not be familiar with the historical context of the Harlem Renaissance, which is also known as the New Negro Movement. The Harlem Renaissance was the hidden creation and implementation of an army meant to overcome one of the nation's strongholds, located close to an immigration port. Indigenous populations that were directly related to North America. Hold up. That part right there, what I just said, is very critical. Watch, because this is about to get stretched to a point where you gonna know. I'm gonna make sure it gets stretched in your head. You gonna know what the agenda was. Which is also known as the New Negro Movement. The Harlem Renaissance was the hidden creation and implementation of an army meant to overcome one of the nation's strongholds. To overcome, it was an army to overcome the nation's strongholds. Located close to an immigration port. Oh, it's always gonna be close to an immigration port, always. Okay? We gonna talk about the other areas, Charleston, South Carolina. We gonna be talking about them other areas shortly. Indigenous populations that were directly related to North America were strategically moved out of the area and replaced with a multitude of migrators that hailed from the Caribbean islands. All right, so the indigenous people of this landmass pushed out. They brought people of the Caribbean islands in. It was a foreign exchange. Foreign exchange. The word har signifies the composition of an army, while the word limb is synonymous with limb or edge. Harlem therefore means to arm the edge of the border. And that is exactly what they did, using art as a cover. The Harlem Renaissance was a cultural movement in the early 20th century that showcased the achievements of so-called African Americans in literature, music, dance, fashion, theater, and even politics. The idea was to transform an area that was related to the arts with a complete intellectual and cultural revival. The question is, who or what died in order for this to take place? Listen, because in order to revive something, which means to bring it back to life, health, existence, or use, something would have to die first. I'm gonna let that sink in. In order to revive something, something has to die first. They killed off something. Listen closely. According to an article written for the History Channel, the Harlem Renaissance was a golden age for African American artists, writers, and musicians. It gave these artists pride in and control over how the Black experience was represented in American culture and set the stage for the civil rights movement. Stop. It gave these artists pride in and control over how the Black experience, listen, the Black experience was represented in American culture. Look how they tried to separate you and set the stage for the civil rights movement. Look. Now, I'm not going to give anything away if some of y'all didn't see the documentary my wife and I did on Rosa Parks. It was called Mother Rosa, and the civil rights movement, by the way. About an hour and a half long. I think it was hour and 30, hour and 40. Y'all could correct me, those of you that watched it. It's very good, very educational. I highly recommend it. It's on the website, DaneMakeYouThink.com. You got to watch it. So before we answer the question of who or what died for this culture rebirth to take place, let's take a look at the definition of art. Did you know that the word art has a direct connection to the word war? In a radical sense, art is considered to be a manifestation of strength through exertion and stretching. This strength is equivalent to power, which is why the term skill is often used. According to Webster's 1828 dictionary, art is the disposition or modification of things by human skill. And in this context, quote, art stands opposed to nature. Therefore, this definition of art implies that anything artificial or foreign is in constant war with things that are natural or indigenous. Let's delve deeper. Hold up. Hold up. By the way, we showing y'all screenshots of our Webster's dictionary. That's why it looked like that. We screenshotting it. I mean, let me, okay, just real quick. Let me do that one more time. Just that part right there. Let's do it right there. In a radical sense, art is considered to be a manifestation of strength through exertion and stretching. This strength is equivalent to power, which is why the term skill is often used. See, the primary sense of strength and power and hence of skill. Okay, this is coming 1828 Webster's English Language Dictionary. According to Webster's 1828 dictionary, Art is the disposition or modification of things by human skill.
You see that?
And in this context, quote, art stands opposed to nature.
It's right there. I'm reading it verbatim.
Therefore, this definition of art implies that anything artificial or foreign is in constant war with things that are natural or indigenous. Let's delve deeper into the word art as it is related to the word artillery. According to Webster, the word art is the root word for artillery. In Norman French, artillery is written as artillery. The term Norman French can refer to both the Norman people and a specific language known as Law French. This language was a corrupted French dialect used by lawyers after the Norman conquest. It is used to refer to the French language as spoken and written in the British Isles. Law French was a Western type of French that was transplanted to Britain and later exported to the Angles, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland.
You heard what I said? And what I just say earlier. And also, y'all about to get a whole doc on this. Y'all about to get a whole doc on the Norman French and all of that. Watch. Y'all about to get that. Matter of probably like in a few days, y'all about to get that.
Webster's 1828 dictionary states, quote, the Amharic unites this word with art, artists, indicating that the primary sense is instruments. Things formed by art, or rather prepared by art, are delineated as offensive weapons of war.
Listen, y'all. Offensive, I'm talking about they did this on purpose, y'all. They did this on purpose. So again, we thought the Renaissance, the Harlem Renaissance was called the Renaissance, but we're saying Harlem Renaissance. Originally, it was called the Renaissance. It wasn't related to that. Harlem, we already told you. But that was their entire job. Move the indigenous people of this land away, bring in a new set to create the new Negro and give them a weapon. The weapon was the art to distract them. Listen, offensive weapons of war to distract them without having to go to war, a physical war. Listen to how deep that get. But yet it was a battle at the same time. It was over our identities, our culture, our tradition. They wanted to erase, they wanted to kill that. It's going back to something has to die in order for it to be revived. They wanted to get rid of it. That's this era right here. Further decimating our people's history into what they want it to be by also giving you conceptual arts, also relating to conceptualism. They give you the concept or the idea that this is the new direction, or this was the direction previously of so-called Negroes. But how is that possible when the Caribbeans just got there? So now they know our traditions? No, they don't. But if you hand them the ideas, it kills off what they already are familiar with. Insert the new. The new Negro movement, y'all. That's exactly what they did.
By the way, the Amharic or American is a native or inhabitant of America, also known as Breton.
Woo! Look. Now you know who the enemies are. What I just say earlier, didn't I say Breton? That's what it was originally called. See, the reason why I'm a master teacher, and I gotta consider my wife a master teacher as well, and shout out to listen, it's a few of them, but shout out to Top Cats, and you gonna see some other people we dated. You gonna see. I'm not trying to give it away. Y'all gonna be surprised, but let me listen. We all talking truth.
But the way I break this down to simplify it for you to understand, ain't nobody doing that, man. Not them so-called elders, you know, them so-called elder master teachers. Ain't nobody talking like this. Simple. Simple. And this was just from the English language dictionary. Notice how it was from the English language dictionary. Uh-oh. Natural to the game. You caught on to it, huh? Uh-oh. America. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You caught on to it, huh? You caught on to it, huh? You switch that O and make it an E. What is that?
Set it on fire.
What is that?
Fire.
I just said that our people had snipers, right? Didn't I? Snipers! But wait a minute. If you build an armor, woo!
It's up.
Woo! Hold on. Hold on.
Set it on fire.
Hold on.
Fire.
And then they had the nerve and say they was speaking English. And we came and helped them. We came and helped them. Wait, I'm going too far. Hold up. No, I said it earlier. No, I did say it earlier. But I'm about to get deeper in the documentary style. Be on the lookout for this, y'all. This was just scratching the surface. I can't lie, because I had to stay on topic. But yeah, I mean, shout out to my wife as well. Like, look, y'all about to. hey, I'm actually glad that this is happening, because y'all need to see armor. But if the Bretons sent the Moors, then if they sent them, then you already know the Moors are foreigners. Uh-oh. Already know they foreigners here. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. That's the enemy. I need y'all to come over here and get the armor from the indigenous people. No, because they the ones that got the material now. That's the America right there. And so inspired by it that we want to be called the Americ, because we united with them. When I say they got to thank us in more ways than just, building up America, I mean that. Britain would not exist. Would not exist. Y'all getting it? Armory? Go ahead. To be prepared. Y'all may recall me mentioning this too. I've been stating this a lot. It's better to be prepared than to be what? Repaired after the damage is already done. That's what this was all about. Getting in formation. In formation, in a literal sense. Y'all may recall the book, The Art of War. Uh-oh. Somebody just said it. Good. Hey, Game God, you want it? You want it? You see how I connect? It's that simple. We just wasn't looking deep enough. And I'm going to be real with you. It ain't that far gone. People just wasn't looking. So when we talk about the art of war, now you know what it's all about. And since the Pope and the Vatican retracted it, we got to go take our armor. We got to be up.
It's up.
We got to take our position back. We got to put our armor back on. They slipped this in so more foreigners could come in. And it wasn't just Harlem, by the way. It happened in more than one area. Harlem was just the most significant due to the routes that they had to take in order to bring people from the Caribbean islands and Europe. I'm going to just simplify. It was Eurasia, still Eurasia. So when they, you're going to hear certain people that we're the Asiatic black man. No, we not. Ain't nothing about us Asiatic. We're not from that landmass. They are. Yeah, they may look similar. That don't mean we the same. All skin folk ain't kinfolk here. And they know it. We know it. Oh, we know now. If you ain't know before, you know now. And look, this ain't no knock to, my brothers and sisters that's over there in the Caribbean islands. I'm just telling you what happened historically to our people. And people be like, well, how do we lose everything, Dane? You know how many, I showed you so many different ways of how it happened, but here's one of them. I also showed you how we lost the land, the banks, the businesses. I showed you. Hands down. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. How we were once the biggest capitalists of this society. And here's another thing. How are we the biggest capitalists of this society in the 1800s, but yet they said we were the slaves? I'm going to say it again. How were we the biggest capitalists of this society during the same time period that they were also saying that we were the slaves? How did that happen? We were the majority when it came to the landowners. We were the majority when it came to the sharecroppers. We were the majority when it came to the land surveyors. Listen. County agents to further their expertise in farming. County agents to further their expertise in farming. It's time, y'all. Wake up. Put your armor back on. And that was Martin Luther King, by the way, that I'm quoting. They hired county agents to further their expertise in farming. Those county agents were us. The land surveyors were us. The U.S. Marshals were us. You know why? Because the Buffalo Soldiers was us. The Cowboys was us. The Indians was us. A foreigner can't come to a landmass and know about that landmass if they're foreign to it. That foreigner won't know how to do anything without an indigenous person's help. And that's even down to survival. Again, if it wasn't for us, there will be no them. They called this the age of Aquarius, right? The revealing of truth. That's what they called it, right? I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to call it the age of Taurus. Ain't we in June? Listen. We in June, right? The age of Taurus. What is that element? The element, listen. Now, but they going, yeah, I know, no, as far as the astrology aspect, some of y'all going to say Gemini, but they're going to call this the age of Taurus. Age of Taurus. The element is going to be the earth. That's associated with the age of Taurus is earth. Is earth, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so glad some of y'all saying that in the chat. Don't get me wrong, the age of Taurus is still a part of astrology, but some of y'all going to associate it with the, the zodiac signs. And I'm referring to the time, the consensus, the tone, what they're referring to, the time, like the spring equinox. That's what we're in right now. Right now. Dang, you in astrology? You just getting on my channel. You just go back to my old stuff, man. I can wrap circles around your head with that. I had to learn. Had to. The main reason why I wanted to learn that is because I wanted to know why. Time changes for certain sections in the United States. Who came up with that idea? And then sometimes time will roll back and then roll forward. Who in charge? I wanted to know. That was my thing. I'm always nosy. That don't mean I worship some ideology that some of y'all may be familiar with. You know how, the route that some Africans took it? Nope. It's great information to know. But that don't mean that those particular people or myths associated with those people were referring to us. To go back to that, the element associated with the age of Taurus is earth. The natural flow of things. What's in existence right now? Being solid, being practical, being down to earth. Being persistent. Hardworking. Glorifying the beauty of nature. And everything else in between. That's right. That's right, Zoe, being grounded. Grounded. Yeah, I got it. This is the age that we're in right now. If y'all don't know what being grounded is, take your cell phone right now, take your shoes off, go outside and let your feet touch the grass. Right now. It's a lot of nature that is living just as well as you are. So why not? Be thankful. And here's another thing, right? They always say, you know, that we should be thanking the trees, and I agree. It's more than one reason why we should be thanking the trees, not only for it to just be providing us oxygen, but talking to us, giving us a sense to continue to live. And people forget that, you know, how oxygen is created. I keep bringing this up. You can't have oxygen without water. To go back to our people being seafaring people. All dealing with nature, baby. We had that water first. We knew how to survive out here. We knew how to live years and years and years. Civilized. Our people ain't living no damn teepees. Those are tents for people trying to travel. And after a while, they get tired and they do what? They camp out. That ain't us. Never has been. When they was doing those migrations of those immigrants coming over, them immigrants stayed in teepees. Nowadays, the teepees will be what? Hotels, right? When the immigrants came over here, they was throwing them in what, y'all? Hotels, right? The ones that couldn't make it in the hotels, where they were staying there? Tents. Stadiums. Same thing. Same thing they doing right now is the same thing they were doing back then. Yep. Yeah. In schools too. You right. You right, Queen Leo. They definitely. I had a little, you know, they call them the industrial facilities. They say our tax dollars go towards this stuff too. So we paying for more foreigners to come over here. Oh, and our tax dollars is helping them. And it's not going back to our communities. This is real talk. That money is not fluctuating amongst our community. This is the reason why it was a big attack at this time, y'all. We're going back to this segment that I'm playing. It was a huge attack on our people. To do away with the indigenous people, you had to kill them off in order to create the new indigenous people. Notice how right now, and this is not no funny stuff, I'm going to just be real here. Notice how when they were talking that reparation stuff, y'all can recall this recently, right? The majority of our people that are indigenous to this landmass was like this, spitting out the reasons why we should be getting reparations, and right? And then wasn't it some people that share the same skin complexion as you and I, that ain't from here, saying they want reparations too? And they ain't go through the same things that our ancestors went through? They want to be included instead of being excluded. They like, well, if we gonna be excluded, then nobody should get reparations. All right. But yet them immigrants, and I just showed y'all the other day, them immigrants coming over here, they getting those prepaid credit cards. But dang, that's for them to take care of themselves with food. Well, who told them to come over here in the first place? Think about that. Why you think they're running from their land masses to come over here? Because they know that this land mass, or the government rather, is going to help them more so than any other land mass they live in there. Right now. This was strictly done by design to always help other foreigners. But yeah, our people keep begging and begging and begging. And notice I'm saying begging because technically that's what we're doing. Going right back to our own enemies looking for help. That's the reason why I said it's time to do away with those old master teachers. Make room for us, the new master teachers. Make room for us. Y'all had it wrong back then. Still got it wrong now. And y'all too stubborn. On top of that, that's how I know y'all gatekeeping. Get out the way. Because this generation right here, where I'm included in, we're going to make the correct changes. We getting our lands back. And we putting our armor back on. And this time we going to know. And ain't going to be no room for penetration. Infiltration. But Dane, there's some people over there that want to help us. All right, we'll take a few. A few. But they going to get vetted. I'm going to tell you that right now. Look, we going to make sure that you ain't working for no other people. You better be as prejudiced as we are about our people. Notice I ain't say racist. I say prejudice. Ain't nothing wrong with being prejudiced. Everybody else is prejudiced. They doing things for their own people, getting along just fine. Even if they disagree on whatever ideology they spitting, right? Our people, we got to fight tooth and nail and call each other names and want to shoot and fight all the damn time. You don't think this is done by design? Ain't nobody else fighting each other like how we are. Nobody else. None. I'm glad I'm not playing no music. If y'all heard anything that y'all want to clip up or put on TikTok, feel free. You want to clip something up, put it on your Twitter, feel free. Your YouTube channel, feel free. Go ahead. But the music I play is copyright free anyway, so you can use the music too. Like, don't hesitate. Share it. Share it. We need more people to hurry up. The sense of urgency is now. The more of our people become aware that it's already time for us to take back over and put our armor back on, the faster we can get this done. Let's just say 5-10 years from now, we put our armor back on, right? And some of the elders still living, still around. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be quiet, right? Damn, them young brothers knew what they was doing. They knew what they was talking about. They gonna want to get down, right? Some of them, the ones that ain't sell their soul, that's down with the Boule and all the rest of them secret societies. We ain't having none of that. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't care if you ex-Boule. I don't want you in there. We don't need you. Oh, and we gonna know. We did our history on you Prince Hall Masons. I got books galore on it from the main source, so don't try to sugarcoat nothing. We know how you get down. Gonna try to recruit me. You out your mind. But Dane, here's a big ass house in California. Here's $1 million. Like, I'ma sell my soul. And I'ma sell my people out, huh? Hell nah. Hell nah. You keep all that. Keep your money. Keep that. I'm good. Dang, why you not on that Why you not on that pro? You know why? I'm not on that platform, and this platform is because I'm not selling my soul. I won't ever sell my soul. I won't ever sell myself out. Sell myself short. I won't ever be joining some secret society organization that's against my people. I won't ever do that. Ever. I don't care what the gifts and glam and all that crap look like that they try to throw at me all the time. All the time. I don't care about that. That won't even last long enough anyway. That's getting rich. That ain't getting wealthy. Ooh.
Set it on fire. 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 Fire.
Talk to me. All right, let's go. And the word articulary, which I stated earlier, translates to English as article. The Harlem Renaissance movement is historically famous for its representation of art. However, this fame was fueled by a deceptive motive to influence cultural change within the indigenous population's environment. According to historical records, Harlem, a neighborhood in Manhattan, was originally a small area reserved for upper-class whites in the 1880s. However, it was later overdeveloped with the hope that a greater number of white people would move in and occupy the vacant buildings. Unfortunately, this did not happen, and the investors had to decide between facing financial ruin or prioritizing their profits over their racial prejudices. This allowed for multiple middle-class colored families within Manhattan, stemming from the red-lined neighborhood known as Negro Bohemia, to suddenly populate the area of Harlem in the early 1900s. It was reported that the white residents who supposedly— Wait a minute, so you mean to tell me that the white folks ain't have enough money to move in Harlem? But we did? To the point where the developers and the investors, of the development of Harlem were on their way of bankruptcy. And our people came in and saved the day. Again and again and again and again. Okay.
As Negro Bohemia to suddenly populate the area of Harlem in the early 1900s. It was reported that the white residents who supposedly originally inhabited the area clashed.
By the way, none of our people that's out there looking poor to me. You talking about slacks, shirts, shoes, hat. Ain't none. And they got cars, everything, businesses. They got money. Ain't there one of them. And they look nice. Everybody dressed up. You gonna see the women too. Like everybody looking nice, clean. They know better than that, man.
Its inhabitants in order to keep them out. And when that failed, they fled in pursuit of a new deal. So the question is, who were they making the new deal with? And also, who is the new Negro they are referring to?
Okay.
British West Indian migration rose immensely in the early 20th century. And coincidentally, one of those destinations of choice was the newly desegregated neighborhood of Harlem. During the migration period in New York, the majority of Manhattan's inhabitants were indigenous Americans. However, this changed with the influx of immigrants, resulting in a subtle merging of cultures.
So, Manhattan was all indigenous people. Listen to that word, Manhattan. And then, even before the people of the West Indies came over, foreigners was coming. All of them, the Irish, the Germans, you name it, all of them was coming, right? But in certain areas. But we had Manhattan. And before it was New York, it was New Amsterdam. They considered it New Amsterdam. Them folks know. Them folks know what they did. It's just that our people don't. But I'm telling y'all, it's this time. I'm trying to calm myself down because it is a little upsetting. But it happened. And we can do something about it. And we will.
An article for the PBS section on the American experience describes how today's New York has become nothing like how it began in the beginning of the 20th century. The article states that this was due to differences over the intervening decades, a change in technology, culture, and urbanistic views. This article also states that in reference to today, in one crucial aspect, its demographics, The city has returned to its roots. New York was once again a city of immigrants.
They doing that on purpose.
It also goes on to say it had not always been so. Despite the popular vision of New York, the great immigrant city, home of the Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island, and Manhattan's sprawling patchwork of ethnic neighborhoods, for much of the 20th century, New York had been an American-born city. They specifically emphasized the years between the 1920s and the 1970s by putting them in parentheses.
Listen.
This is because during this period, there were other ethnic groups who were not American Indians, but who tried to blend in with these neighborhoods. It is well known that the eastern border of the U.S. has historically been populated with American Indians, and this reference explains exactly how this particular population was moved when it states the intervening differences as technological, cultural, and urbanistic. The word intervene means to involve oneself in a situation so as to alter or hinder an action or development.
Look, what'd I tell you? And look how easy it is to look into this. It's right in front of us. To involve oneself in a situation as to alter or hinder an action or development. New Negro movement, developing New Harlem, right? Arming that side of the border. Okay.
And this just means that the use of technology, along with the emergence of a new culture hidden under the guise of urban development, was all that it took to replace the indigenous population with that of a foreigner.
Now, you can recall that this happened in other areas. Why? Because it was called urban removal and urban renewal. You know how many, I even traveled to certain areas and showed y'all that it was happening in multiple different states prior to it becoming gentrification, or prior to it becoming gentrified. I should have said prior to it being called gentrification. It was called urban removal and then urban renewal. That's exactly what happened. Those were the tactics done to get us out of our areas during this time. One more time, urban removal and then urban renewal. So this process right here during the Harlem Renaissance was urban renewal. The new Negro movement.
It was the creation of the New Deal legislation and the subsequent planning and programs that came prior that led up to the use of certain immigrants as they were contracted to use the context of art to do the dirty work of the white residents who fled. So, who was the New Deal for? In 1924, legislation prompted immigration reform and closed the quote, golden door that originally allowed a flood of newcomers to migrate from the West Indies and other locations. These persons were now required to obtain a work visa to gain access to the U.S. and U.S. citizenship. You can recall that also in 1924, Walter Plecker became the first register in Virginia to document American Indians as colored at birth instead of recognizing them as indigenous.
Stop! All at the same time. Done by design, ladies and gentlemen. Same time. Same year they let them foreigners. Now that's all of them, not just the West Indies now. But the soon as they gave them visas and said, all right, y'all gonna replace them. You the new Negro. Let's get rid of them colored. Let's get rid of them colored Indians. Change up their identity. Smash y'all together. So they ain't gonna be able to tell who's who. You went from Indian to colored to Negro. $1924. This wasn't that long ago. We can fix this right now. What we waiting for? We waiting on each other to be aware of what happened. That's the only thing. Our people got to be aware of what happened. This has to be regurgitated over and 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 over. Because Walter Placker's idea was borrowed, or rather implemented, by way of legislation of the government. They streamlined that, changed everybody's identity, not just in Virginia. It turned into an idea, then a process that was cultivated, and then it streamlined into becoming law. They easily changed the identity that fast. And look, they're still changing it today. Are we called Negro today? Nope. Are we called colored today? Nope. Are we called Indian today? I'm gonna press play.
This was a deliberate attempt to eventually label this group of people as Negro. According to the Willie Lynch letter, it talks about the process of slave making and how it relates to a Negro by referencing the name Frederick Douglass as a code name to describe the evolution of taking an individual from a man to a slave. It states that there is a scientific process, and through this process, a rationale of results and ideas can originate that can then be used to develop a social being called the Negro, also known as a mule. To ensure this master-slave relationship that they desired to exist across America, everyone who was not considered to be white must be made into a mule, which is the mixed offspring of a male donkey and a female horse.
Stop. Now that gives you a better explanation of what was going to be given to us when they say 40 acres. Uh-oh. Hold up. I don't know what happened. Hold up. Wait a minute. My connection. Hold up. Y'all just. Hello? Hold up. My connection went out. Wait a minute. It should be back now, though. We should be back. Y'all hear me, right? You can hear me. Okay. Ooh, they ain't like that one. Oh. I like that. I'm going to tell you right now, I like when YouTube do that. You know why? I'm pretty sure they did it through commercials in there and everything. They tried to knock people off. I probably went a little too far for them, right? No, zap the stream, throw a commercial in there. Don't let them hear that. And guess what? Guess what Dane Calloway got, YouTube? Dane Calloway got a rewind button. Hold up. You gonna get this. Come on.
Relates to a Negro by referencing the name Frederick Douglass as a code name to describe the evolution of taking an individual from a man to a slave. It states that there is a scientific process, and through this process, a rationale of results and ideas can originate that can then be used to develop a social being called the Negro, also known as a mule.
Ooh! Listen to how deep this is. Also known as a mule, a Negro. also known as a mule. So this is exposing what a Negro is. If you need to screenshot this, this is from, you see how they're using the N-word up there? Screenshot this, y'all. This is direct source. And what is a mule?
To ensure this master-slave relationship that they desired to exist across America, everyone who was not considered to be white must be made into a mule.
Which is
the mixed offspring of a male donkey and a female horse.
Stop! It's also gonna go back to our documentary on Rosa Parks. Y'all gotta see what a Negro is. I'm trying to smile. I am smiling. I'm talking about they didn't. Right. Yeah. Yeah. They made an ass of themselves. All right, look. Make sure y'all screenshot this. This is actually authentic. This is coming from, I don't know if y'all can get this, you know, but well, I don't know. If y'all can get it, y'all can get it. But if you can't, just screenshot this directly from it. But that's why I said, think about, exactly, Levante, think about 40 acres in a mule. That's exactly what I was saying. Think about 40 acres in a mule. We're gonna go deeper into this segment right here because it's a lot of stuff that needs to be understood when it comes to the Willie Lynch letters. How all of it, right, mulatto, Don, exactly, mulatto. Exactly, now y'all catching on. Right, apartment 217, the Negro. Y'all remember what my wife said about the, hold on, do I have, what time is it? I should pull that up, but that, oh man. I wish she was listening to me because I'm trying to remember what segment when she went over that. She basically killed that part, the Negro. Okay, why they don't, oh man, I wish I had that right now. Hun, if you can, hun, if you could do me a favor, hun, and tell me the name of that. Shoot, she may not even be in here right now. I'm not sure. I may have to come back. I'll give y'all that because my wife killed that joint. And I gotta show her segment on that. So you guys, I'm gonna come back to this part. There's also gonna be a documentary, full-fledged doc on this part right here. Yes, that bended knee. So y'all watching? Yeah, I'm glad y'all. Right, was it Memorial Day? No, I think she did it before her Memorial Day segment. I thought it was before that. It was in correlation, right, with the Indy 500, right. Damn, what was the name? Okay. Oh, let me come back to that because I'm gonna have to find out what the name of that video was and I'm gonna have that on deck. I may even have my wife on board because I mean, of course, yeah, I'm pretty sure y'all would want to hear that. Make sure y'all talking at the same time. And yeah, it's time. So I'm gonna, all right. This is basically, okay, I already explained it. But this part right here gets deeper because when they were using Frederick Douglass as the code name, How to Create the Slave, remember in my Frederick Douglass documentary, I also showed y'all what? That Frederick Douglass was allegedly a slave, right? Right after that, he ran. They never captured him. He hopped on the train, still couldn't capture him. He borrowed clothes from white people, still couldn't capture him. He made his own newspaper, still couldn't capture him, and he became a millionaire. Still couldn't capture him. But it was the study. Frederick Douglass, Let's Make a Slave, is a study of the scientific process of man breaking and slave making. This get real deep, and I'm gonna break this down. The original and development of a social being called, quote, the Negro. Y'all gotta see why they were calling us this. Now, some of y'all are gonna state, well, it's relating to the Spanish because the Negro means black or dark. It's gonna mean dark technically. But nah, no, Frederick Douglass was a fictional character. No, Frederick Douglass wasn't a fictional character. Frederick Douglass was real, But what he was used for, he was an agent. What he was used for was to agitate. He was used to agitate the situation. This also exposes that. Also, don't forget that they wanted to hand those Freedmen banks over to Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass had money to keep up those Freedmen banks. If y'all didn't, I'm not trying to give it away. If y'all don't recall, my Frederick Douglass documentary is on the channel. You cannot miss it. It's on there. But he was there to agitate, not agitate, agitate. Just like the rest of them were. If you think about this particular era dealing with the Renaissance. Now, when we talking about how to create the Negro, they had to create or craft the idea based off of what they were handpick and select to make that person less than themselves or any other people coming in. They created the culture, they adapted a lot of our stuff that was already here, but handed it to a whole new set of people. This is no knock to the West Indians. This ain't no knock to them. But I'm just trying to tell y'all how y'all were used, and so were we. We let these foreigners trick us into thinking that we were doing well. Keep in mind, that's why they threw the arts up. All this music playing, y'all can have all these cars, y'all can have this money. Here go a city for y'all. Y'all can have Harlem. And sure enough, that was to get rid of the indigenous people. The entire time their agenda was met. It's crazy how that happened. That's what happened. Unfortunately.
Or, in other words, a foreigner mixed with someone indigenous can provide the same results of creating a Negro through the process of man breaking. On a genetic level, it is meant to tear into two or multiple pieces. So when I mentioned the definition of Ren and Assance in the last video.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Renaissance. Listen, what Renaissance means.
With its relation to Walter Plecker, understand that this is what was done. Exactly. Through tearing down and ripping to pieces the identities of American Indians through name change, culture change,
separating into
technology change, and urban renewal, you break the man that existed previously and create something new. These promises were made to incoming foreigners if they were willing to use their creativity in the form of art, such as music, literature, dance.
Ooh. Let me see if y'all peep that real quick.
Promises were made to incoming foreigners.
Easter egg.
If they were willing to use
Easter egg. I believe it alone.
Their creativity in the form of art, such as music, literature, dance, fashion, theater, and even politics, to rewrite a different story. They will have the opportunity to gain citizenship. The goal was to cover up the true story of our past and present a new narrative.
Hold up. I know that was going kind of quick. Pay attention.
They will have the opportunity to gain citizenship. The goal was to cover up the true story.
Look. Keep the degrees in mind. Y'all gonna see this. I'm just letting that hold on, let me get rid of that line out the way so y'all can see it. Y'all can screenshot this too. But this is a huge Easter egg. This is the correlation between facial angle and intelligence. Look. Gorilla, 60%. Degrees. The Negro, 70 degrees. Intellectual white, 90. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Freemasonry. You got it. Very good. Excellent. You pick that up right away.
And present.
All right, what about this one? Hold up. And I'm going to play what I'm saying, but this is going across the screen because I'm going to get into this in a second in a different video. Look closely. Professor Osborne of the American Museum of Natural History, and Professor Gregory of the Chair of Evolution at Columbia University. Now, remember, trace the blood of the German leaders back through the wild. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Because I don't. Let me talk about this Columbia University part real quick. Now, remember, you may recall in my older segments, I was telling you who all designed the educational system. Remember when I said it was the University of Chicago, Columbia University, J.P. Morgan, John D. Rockefeller, Henry Ford, okay, all got together. That was all done by design. What did I say? Rockefeller? Yeah, I did say Rockefeller, John D. Rockefeller. All done by design. Got together and created this. Not only did they create the classifications, they also created the curriculums that they were teaching throughout the schools. They funded it and everything, especially the Rockefellers, by the way. Yeah. No, I said Andrew Carnegie, right? I think I said Carnegie, J.P. Morgan, John D. Rockefeller, Henry Ford, University of Chicago, and Columbia University. And outsprung the majority of the secret societies that were involved with doing away with our people. In all aspects. In all aspects. I wouldn't consider all of them. I wouldn't consider all of them Jews now. Not all of them, because they had help. They had help. No, I'm talking about at the big. Well, okay, Howard had some dealing, but not like Columbia University, especially the University of Chicago. University of Chicago was the head honcho of all of this, and Columbia University as well. But all of that Freemason stuff, this is where it's stemming from. Skull and Bones. I mean, shoot, ain't they showing you skulls and the skull is a bone? Yes, Yale's a part of it, but I'm talking about the big guys, the head guys, the head ones. You got Andrew Carnegie, J.P. Morgan, John D. Rockefeller, Henry Ford, University of Chicago, and Columbia University. They were the ones that started the compulsory educational system, and it was cultivated by Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson expanded on that giant. Woodrow Wilson. They had a huge role on what we know right now. No, Skull and Bones was founded in Yale, but I'm talking about their agenda started there. Now, I wouldn't say Skull and Bones in general started at Yale. I mean, I know certain people are going to say that, but I'm talking about these secret societies that adapted their form of Skull and Bones. It started here. Especially the University of Chicago. If you go back and trace the Prince Hall Masons, for example, it's not just Yale that was involved. It was many of them that were involved. But I'm talking about the head honchos, the ones that was running the show prior to any of them coming about, that's springing about top of 1900s. We definitely are talking about Columbia University and especially University of Chicago. Hands down. They at the top. But Skull and Bones was in existence prior to the Yale. They gonna say Skull and Bones was founded by Yale, but we, as the indigenous people, I have a video out called it's actually correlating with this, but there's a video that I have on my channel right now talking about the ancient gods. I'm showing you that we had Skull and Bones back then. Hold up, I could tell you the name of that video right offhand really quickly. Hold up. I'll give it to you so you can check that out. But I was showcasing to you to let you know, yeah, we had it way before them. Hold up. That's it. Skull and Bones is indigenous to this land. 1 second. Let me give you that really quickly. It is called, okay, on the thumbnail, I said Ancient American Giants. Correction. I said Ancient American Giants. In fact, the name of the video is called Ancient American Giants, History the Bible Alluded to, but you missed it. So Ancient American Giants, History the Bible Alluded to, but you missed it. But yeah, you can't miss it. You're going to see the skull and bones in the background right away of what our indigenous, like an indigenous giant on that. And that is a painting that was featured inside of a museum, but it was also featured in a old ass book by Obley. Hold on, what was his name? Gilby. I forgot his name, but he made the book on the Americas, and that's inside of the Library of Congress. But I mean, you can still get copies of it. It was called now I'm trying to think of the name of it. God damn it. It was a long name, but it was referring to the Americas. This was one of the paintings, okay, the watercolor paintings that was featured inside of the book. So that was authentic, and that was predating a lot of what people already put out. Man, that guy's OG something. I'm trying to remember how it went. It's been some years since I touched that book. It's been some years, but yeah, John, but his last name was Ojibli or something like that. I forgot. But if you trace my research, you'll find it. That's gonna pop right up. You should be able to find that. Let y'all hear what I'm stating right here, and I'm gonna close this part out right here. Wait a minute. Yeah, let me go right here.
To Walter Plecker, understand that this is what was done. Exactly.
That's it. Y'all got him. Yes, John Ogilvy. John Ogilvy. That's his name. He is the one. So when I'm talking about the ancient American giants, you are going to see that. Okay, you're going to see that in his literature. And I'm talking about his is predating a lot of other people's. But already letting you know, not only was the giants here, okay, now some of y'all going to say Anunnaki, but also Skull and Bones, okay, already had. This was already here. This is where the majority of the stuff was learned from anyway. Keep in mind, they were mimicking us. But if you want me to go deeper into that segment, watch that. It's on the channel. Just go to the videos, not the live streams. It's a video. Actually, it was a live stream, but I made it a video. It's about an hour long. I'm looking at it. You'll find it.
Down and ripping to pieces the identities of American Indians through name change, culture change, technology change, and urban renewal, you break the man that existed previously and create something new. These promises were made to incoming foreigners if they were willing to use their creativity in the form of art, such as music, literature, dance, fashion, theater, and even politics,
right,
to rewrite a different story. They will have the opportunity to gain citizenship. The goal was to cover up the true story of our past and present a new narrative. This was the New Deal.
Okay, look.
And we can see for ourselves
hold on.
Okay,
I'm glad I did this. All right. Okay, superior intelligence. Hold on, let me go back so y'all can see this. Superior intelligence. Look at the titles, right? Commissioned officers, non-commissioned officers, Negro officers. Okay. Now it's going to go down the list, but I want you to see something when I come further
was
down.
The New Deal. And we can see for ourselves that after the term Negro was implemented, that term itself is no longer allowed to exist, along with the term before that and the term before that.
Yeah, they changing it. That's how they hiding it.
That was
Look,
the
all
result
the way down.
of the Harlem Renaissance and the new
Northern
Negro movement.
American Negro.
It was the skill of taking something and ripping it into many pieces that allowed for an entire population of indigenous people to be killed off mentally, re-educated, and reclassified so that they could be brought back to life for someone else's use.
So they repurposed you so they could basically do what they want to do with you, as what I've been saying. But that's exactly what the agenda was. Notice how he the only one looking in a different direction, by the way. I'm going to just let that stand out. I'm letting it stand out. You the only one looking in a different direction, right? He know better. By the way, that ain't Carter G. Woodson. That's who? Who is that, y'all? Nah, not D.E.B. Come on. Who is that? Yeah, screenshot that. I mean, this is a big, you can screenshot that. This is a huge image. That's why you see me going, scrolling over so you can see who these people are directly. Each and everybody in this picture had something to do with your educational system. But it's a main reason why, it's a big reason why he's in the middle and looking in a different direction. Who is this? That's the Bows. Dubois. That's the Bows. Yep. I'm going to go deeper into this, but I wanted to, oh shoot, it's already 2 hours. Okay. But I wanted to, oh man, I wanted to touch on another part. That was my fault. Let me see how I can do this real quick. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me switch, I wonder if we should take it a step at a time. Because, yeah, I mean, because I know, I saw the analytics. Actually, everybody started cutting it off at 1 hour and 30 minutes. They like an hour and 30 minutes. Let me do, okay. So let me make it 4 segments. Because I'm still not finished the beginning stages. I gotta, again, I have to spoon feed it. And y'all gonna be upset if we be a whole nother hour and I'm still in the beginning. Like, I'm still trying to get it out and then put you into the American gods, indigenous gods. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm gonna stop it right here. I'm gonna stop it right here. Y'all right. I'm gonna stop it right here. That way people can catch up at least. And then that way they can be prepared for the next one. So I'm gonna see y'all here shortly. What's today? Thursday? I'm over the weekend. I don't know what day. I mean, hold on. When is that game, y'all? When is that game? Hold on, the game tonight. Kyrie playing tonight, right? If Kyrie playing tonight, I know they ain't gonna see this tonight. They probably gonna see this tomorrow. Kyrie playing tonight. All right, so this is what we gonna do. So since Kyrie playing tonight, and you know that's our indigenous brother right there. He show love. Yeah, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but you know, he followed me on Twitter and Instagram and shared my stuff multiple. I'm just saying, let me drop a bomb for Kyrie. That's all I'm saying, because he do be showing love.
Set it on fire. Fire.
So I'm gonna support my indigenous brother. You know what I'm saying? Let me give him his time, you know, get that game 1 out of there, and then we'll pick this up. Y'all probably not gonna see this until Saturday. I'm sure they're not gonna have a game on Sunday, so I might as well pick up well, it's either gonna be Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, because they got that. Hold on, I'm tripping. What's today? No, today is, wait a minute. Today, Thursday. Okay, no, hold on, I'm tripping. All right, so if tonight the game, I may go over the weekend. Either way, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Which one y'all want? Either one of those. But yeah, I know, let Kyrie have his time. He showed love to me. We showing love back. You know what I'm saying? We might even have him in a document. Hello?
It's up.
OCO, freethinkers.
Bang! Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said let him cook.
It's up.
But everybody said Friday, Saturday. No. We gonna stop it right here. We gonna stop it right here because it was actually I was a little too long. But I'm gonna make sure that I don't have a long intro the next go round. I'm not going, because you know I started going off, and when I get into my zone, I black out. And I didn't give my shout outs. I'm gonna make up for that, y'all, I promise. But let me at least shout out the people. Let me pull this up right now. Shout out the people that was showing love. Let me drop a bomb. Let me do this again too, for the people that I didn't get a chance to say earlier. But Ghost Dog, Ghost Dog, thank you for the 5 gifted. I appreciate that, Ghost Dog. And the one you want to be, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Andrew Francis, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Mama Debus, thank you for becoming a member. Air Quad Firebird, woo!
Set it on fire.
Thank you for becoming a member. Miss Kenny D. Miss Kenny D, she said Grand Rising.
OCO, Freethinkers.
It's go time, Slim.
OCO. James Stone been a member for 16 months in a row. He said OCO.
OCO, Freethinkers.
My brother Terry Mini Crows. What up, Terry? Been a member 21 months in a row. I appreciate that.
Set it on fire. Fire. Fire.
Aquarius Woman Entertainment LLC. Wow. She put a whole business out there. Aquarius Woman Entertainment LLC. Thank you for becoming a member. I'm gonna drop a bomb. She got that free promo in there. She ain't playing. Todd Johnson, thank you for the 5 gifted. I appreciate that. Thank you, Todd. I know I said it earlier. Ain't nothing wrong with saying it again now. All right, King Vaughn. Thank you for becoming a member, King Vaughn. Terry Bitty Crows. Thank you for the donation, brother. I appreciate that.
Fire. Fire.
Kamor's Battle, thank you for the donation as well. I appreciate that. Beezy, thank you for following me on Twitch. I appreciate that. Don't get it twisted. We still gonna knock out Twitch. YouTube, don't get mad. I ain't on contract, so don't you feel bad. Nah, I'm just playing. So anyway, Learn to Love Me for Kids. Thank you for the donation. I said that right. Learn to Love Me for Kids. Okay, yeah, I said that right. Said blessings from Fam First. Absolutely. Thank you for the donation as well. Miss Molly J, thank you for becoming a member.
Set it on fire. Fire.
Bonnie's World Inc. Thank you for becoming a member. And I am that I am. I like that.
Set it on fire.
I like that. Thank you for becoming a member. Triple Arrows, thank you for the 6 months in a row. He said, take notes, hold up.
Relax and take notes.
Odelia and Willie's grandbaby. What's up, sis?
Set it on fire.
She always showing love.
Fire.
That's big though, too. That's big Bob right there.
It's up.
Bang!
Cannon.
Thank you, sister, always showing love like that. I appreciate that. She said, Watto fam, love and peace from Blackfoot and proud. I know that's right.
Set it on fire.
Shout out to the Blackfoot.
Fire.
Mob Deuce been a member. What up, sis? Mob Deuce been a member for 14 months in a row. She said, Watto, you welcome, sis. 14 months in a row. I appreciate that. Natasha been a member for 14 months in a row. She said, gratitude. Thank you, sister. Brandon Knox just became a member. What up, Brandon? Welcome aboard. Terry Bitty Cruz, love you. I love you too, brother. I appreciate that. I am that I am just updated, went to the silver tier. I appreciate that. C's Best Believe. What's up with this rhyming? Look at us indigenous people, always rhyming with our names. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. Let me make sure I do my cash out. Let me double check, because I wasn't looking at my phone. Hold up. I was not looking at the phone. When I'm in the zone, I don't be looking at my phone. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to drive everything home. I'm trying to make sure you get where you going. And you know what I'm saying? I say what I say, you pay attention, and we're going to have a great day. I'm not trying to freestyle. Don't take it that way. I hope I wasn't. Hold up. Let me pull this up right now. All right, Chris. Wait, hold up. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me go to the recent. Okay, wait, hold on, huh? What's today, y'all? Today is, hold on. a minute, what? Am I tripping? Or is this junk lagging? Wait, what is this? Let me start from right here. Okay, Romeo, I appreciate that on Cash App. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. I believe that's because I think a old friend of mine used to spell Romeo that way. I hope I ain't mispronouncing it, brother. Correct me in the chat if I am. Karan Stewart, thank you for the, I had the roller. Y'all know how I do. Thank you for the donation, Karan Stewart. I appreciate that. Eat the Creek, thank you for being a member for 6 months in a row. Janelle Shepard, thank you for becoming a member. Vanessa, what up, sis?
Set it on fire.
Hope you and the fam are great, my brother. Look, Sister Vanessa, I appreciate that. You always showing love each and every time. I mean, we doing well. Everybody's doing well. Staying away from all that bad weather and stuff like that and getting stuff done. I appreciate that, sister. Thank you so much. Always showing love, man. Let me drop another bomb. E-Blue, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Wait a minute, I hope I am pronouncing that E-Blue. If she in the chat cuts me out, sister, she said for the truth and knowledge, I appreciate that, thank you. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. She can get on me in the chat. I will maintain, I like that. Thank you, brother, I appreciate the donation. Hey, the way we be coming up with it, man. I'm talking about they still try to copycat us. Omni, thank you for the donation as well. Grand Amour from Elaine Daria, thank you, I appreciate that.
Set it on fire.
I appreciate that, Elaine. All right, so what we say? We said Friday? Well, I mean, that's tomorrow, so we might as well go tomorrow. I'll pick this back up tomorrow, because, I mean, why wait till Saturday? Because people, on Saturday, folks try and be with their folks. They probably going to be out, out and about and everything. So I think Friday will be straight. We could knock it out on Friday, get that education in, because I know tonight, folks going to be watching that damn game. I know I am. I got to support Kyrie, man. Hands down. I'm rooting for Kyrie, hands down. Man, I mean, hold up. Let me make sure, because I just got some notifications that came through. Yeah, Paulette been a member for, hold on, I'm trying to pull it up. It is 15 months in a row. I appreciate that. And Follow the Food been a member for food. Follow the Food. I don't want nobody to think I mispronounced that. Has been a member for 4 months in a row. He said keep it going. Now, we been too long. It's only right. Haru, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that, Haru. Eva Cotton, thank you for subscribing. We gonna pick this back up. I should do it in the evening tomorrow, since it's Friday, but I'm gonna take a look at what I gotta do, because I gotta do a couple things today. And if everything's straight by the time I get back and I'm not too tired, because I got a few things I gotta knock out, I should go tomorrow. It would probably be in the rising tomorrow. And if not, it'll be, just look out for me in the evening, like about between 4 and 6. We'll make that happen. It seems like every time I do that, matter of fact, let me tell you right now, yeah. Every time I be like this date, that date, this time, somebody be hating. So if y'all could do me a favor, right? And stay all positive affirmations out there, so we can continue to put this education out there for the people to learn, to the masses. We could negate all that negativity that people try to put out there to try to stop us. We gonna keep going regardless. You understand what I'm saying?
Let him cook now.
They can't stop us. All positive energy. If y'all can't put it up in the air, you know what I'm saying? And I don't mean smoke. I'm talking about, unless it's some sage, I'm talking about as far as your vibrations, send them my way for me, please. Make sure they ain't trying to put, you know what I'm saying? Combat them like that. And we'll go from there. Just combat them like that. I appreciate that, y'all. Y'all take care. I'm gonna leave y'all with I should give y'all a sneak peek of something real quick. Hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold up. Yeah, I found it. All right, hold up. Let me make. Hold up. Gotta. Let me come up a little bit.
Hey, man. I be trendy in the news when I say when. I don't follow by no rules, I'ma break them. I don't hang around no fools, I ain't fake slim. But that on everything, my life is so amazing. Yes, sir, I'm in my bag now. Some folks have died of me before, they fans now. But too late, you bad now. It's too late, you gonna be fake. You people just wanna be drinks. You venomous, trying to be snakes. Let's get it. My foot on the gas now. Look, honey, we made it. Ain't nothing but great things, so we gonna pass down. It got to be God of me, hitting the lottery, right up a bag now. My mother be proud of me, loving surrounding me, having a blast now. They know I'm the man now. It just so happens I was rapping and got acclimated. I'm Captain Gapping in the cap when track is activated. I'm Gonzalez cause I'm speedy, heavy, put a DG. Touch up windows, tinted, can't see me, tell them on your TV. My worker Bible going viral, help you free self. I post a post and tell the folks you post to seek self. If you tryna be like me, then you can't need help. It's a long ride to the top, wear a seatbelt. Yeah, I'm wealthy every day. It's a fast go.
All right. And that's something slight. It's not mixed or nothing. You know what I'm saying? We got it's. I'm just letting you know it's coming. It's coming. Y'all asked for it. It's coming. Okay. I'm gonna just do it like that. And that's the rough draft. I'm gonna get myself a copyright strike when I put that joint out. But I don't care. It's for y'all anyway. Y'all do what y'all do. Y'all take care. I love y'all. Why though? I'm just here to make you think.
Slow down.